But if they all say to prioritize their projects, well, that's a video for another time. Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel, The Vlog. I'm Shayna, and today's video, I'm going to give you 5 tips surviving your first busy season as a tax associate. You guys may not know this, but my 9 to 5, I'm a tax senior at a public accounting firm. My firm's about one of the top 5 for public accounting firms in the country. And I feel like looking on YouTube, I felt like I didn't see that many Black women in public accounting. And if I did see them, they were in audit. So I hope that this video can help provide you guys with just an insight of how you can survive your first busy season as a tax associate, and you get to learn things, and not make the mistakes that I made. If you guys see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my iPad. It's on my notes. So yeah. First tip is to always ask questions. This may seem obvious as a new tax associate, but it can be intimidating sometimes asking questions since you're new, you don't really know that many people on your team, so it can be intimidating. The first review comments I got back on my first real return it was a lot because, it was my first real return, and some of the comments I wasn't entirely sure how to clear them. And I didn't ask on how to clear them because I thought it was an expectation for me to know. So some of the comments I just didn't clear. So I updated everything that I knew how to update, and I just sent it back to my senior. Do not be like me. Don't do that. So long story short, my senior pulled me aside and she broke down how I should clear comments because I wasn't doing it right. And she broke down how, but since I didn't make certain updates, it was going to require more work for her to make all the updates. I felt bad that I created more work for her. Obviously, it wasn't intentional, but I still felt bad. And now I just ask questions to be sure. Ask questions about anything and everything. So no question is a dumb question. So if you have a question, just ask it. My second tip is to save your review comments. This kind of goes with the first point that I made, but saving your review comments will help you to not make the same mistakes over and over and over again. For example, if a checkbox needs to be checked on a form and it's kind of a regular checkbox that usually every form gets checked on, you'll know I need to check this box from looking back at your review comments. So after every return that I would do, I would go back and look at my review comments that I got on my last return to make sure that I wasn't making the same mistakes and so that I get less comments from my senior. Your reviewer will also very much appreciate this. My third tip is to keep track of your time in Excel. Keeping track of your time in Excel is 100 times easier than doing it by hand. I started out keeping my time on a sticky note. So whenever I was done with a project, I would write the end time, write how many minutes or hours it was, and then start the next project and, keep going from that. And I found that it was getting a little messy, just having all these random sticky notes everywhere of all my time that I've completed. So most of the time at the end of the day, after I put my time in, I would just throw my sticky note away. A few times our software will glitch and it wouldn't save the previous day of time that I had put in. So when that would happen, I would have to go through my trash to try and find the sticky note that I threw away from yesterday and try to remember what I did for certain amounts of projects. But tracking it in Excel, it's more accurate since the software is doing the math for you. You can just save it and just keep a track for it for a week. And then the next week, you can just write over it and just, after every week. So every time you have your time, if there's a glitch, you can just easily look back and remember what you did and how much time you spent on it. And in case keeping track of time is kind of foreign to you, most public accounting firms have to keep track of time because that's how they make money. The billable hours that we do on our clients' tax returns and projects and stuff like that. So That's why keeping track of your time is very important. My fourth tip is to ask your project leads what projects to prioritize. As you get deeper into busy season, more and more projects will start to pile up on your plate and you can easily get overloaded. When this happens, you should ask your project leads what projects to prioritize so that you know which ones are more important and which ones you should be working on first to get out the door. But if they all say to prioritize their projects, well, that's a video for another time. But what I would usually do every Wednesday, I would send out a progress email to my project leads to make sure that everyone on the email knew what I was working on, the progress of it, and if I felt overwhelmed, I would add that in my email as well so that I can maybe get more resources, or they could shift the project to someone else, or they can just push back the time when they actually need the project. This way, everyone on my team knew what I was working on and I didn't get overloaded that easily. My last and final tip is to make sure you have a work-life balance. Now, this is probably the most important tip that you're gonna get out of all of these. If you forget all of them, just remember this one. During busy season, you're gonna be working 50 to 55 hours a week, which includes weekends. And I did not know that going into this career. I did not know that. So that was kind of culture shock to me, but we're making it. We got through it. So it's easy to work those 50 to 55 hours straight. Like that's basically working like 9 to 10 hours in a day. And it's really easy to just do that straight, work, eat, go to sleep, the next day do it all over again. So to avoid getting burnt out by doing this, you should block off some time where you can just have moments just to not think about tasks, not think about work, and just to relax and decompress. For me, I used to work out in the evening time when I had a different schedule, and working out in the evening really helped me to release all the stress and negative energy that had happened from the workday. And after I would work out, I would cook myself dinner and I would just watch a show so I can just completely zone out and just, relax and just not think about anything. And lastly, on the weekends, I would always make sure I had something to do, whether it was going out to the bars with my girls or going on a date with my boyfriend or just having a self-care weekend. That way, having those little events at the end of the week helped me to get through the week and just to have something to look forward to for when the week is finally over. So those are all the tips that I have for this video. I hope they're helpful to you as they would have been for me. And if you have any other tips that can help anyone else, drop them in the comments down below. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want more content like this, also drop it down in the comments so that I know, because I do have some other tips and tricks and my personal stories about being in public accounting. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.